Welcome to Guides, English Language and Literature. In this deep dive into Act 3 of Macbeth, we explore its turning point, where ambition becomes tyranny. We'll analyze key events, plot development, and character transformations. Let's get started. Key events in Act 3. Banquo's murder. Macbeth's fear drives him to kill again. Although Macbeth is king, the witch's prophecy haunts him. Banquo's descendants are destined to rule. Feeling cheated, he reflects, "For Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan have I murdered." Determined to prevent this, he hires assassins to kill Banquo and Flint's without Lady Macbeth's influence. However, when Flint escapes, Macbeth panics. "I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears." Even after another murder, he finds no relief. The prophecy remains unresolved, feeding his paranoia and ensuring he will never feel truly secure. The banquet scene, Macbeth's guilt becomes public. Hosting a feast to assert his power, Macbeth's confidence shatters when Banquo's ghost appears in his seat. Horrified, he shouts, "Avaunt, and quit my sight. Let the earth hide thee." His erratic behavior turns the celebration into chaos. Lady Macbeth tries to maintain order, dismissing his outburst as a passing fear. "This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan." However, the damage is done. His lords witness his instability, and suspicion grows. Instead of securing his rule, Macbeth's paranoia is now visible to everyone. Hecate's introduction. The witch's manipulation deepens. Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, is furious that the witches acted without her. She sees Macbeth as a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. He believes he is controlling his fate, but he is merely a pawn. Rather than leaving events to unfold naturally, Hecate instructs the witches to feed Macbeth security, warning, and you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. This foreshadows how false confidence in prophecies will lead to Macbeth's downfall. Growing paranoia, Macbeth becomes a tyrant. By the end of Act 3, Macbeth is no longer reacting to threats. He is actively hunting them. His rule is built on fear, not loyalty. He spies on the Scottish lords, revealing, "There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep the servant feed." Even those who once supported him are now seen as potential traitors. Macduff refuses to attend the banquet, further fueling Macbeth's suspicions. He begins plotting Macduff's downfall. "How sayst thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?" Any act of defiance, no matter how minor, is now justification for violence. Macbeth has crossed the line into full-blown tyranny. Plot development in Act 3. Villainy accelerates. Macbeth crosses a moral line. Previously, Macbeth needed persuasion to commit murder. Now, he acts without hesitation, ordering Banquo's death without consulting Lady Macbeth. Flint's escape fuels his paranoia, making him even more dangerous. Each act of violence pulls him further into a cycle of fear and control. Consequences unfold. Chaos grows from Duncan's murder. Duncan's murder was just the beginning. Scotland is unstable, unrest is spreading, and Macbeth's insecurity deepens. Instead of the security he sought, he feels more threatened than ever, isolating himself and pushing the country toward rebellion. Seeds of rebellion. Macbeth begins losing support. Macbeth's public outburst at the banquet raises suspicions. Lennox and other lords mock his rule, hinting at growing discontent. Macduff secretly leaves for England to join Malcolm, marking the first clear sign of rebellion, setting the stage for war in Act 5. Supernatural intensifies. Fate tightens around Macbeth. Banquo's ghost is the first supernatural force to directly haunt Macbeth, representing his guilt and fear. Hecate's intervention strengthens the theme of fate, ensuring Macbeth's overconfidence will lead to his downfall. The witches are no longer passive observers. They're actively manipulating him toward destruction. Macbeth. Need for security. Macbeth's fear of losing power. Killing Duncan has not secured Macbeth's future. Banquo's prophecy still threatens his throne. Fearing he has only paved the way for Banquo's heirs, he arranges Banquo's murder. He laments, "Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my gripe." His ambition, once driven by desire, is now fueled by paranoia. Independent action. Macbeth no longer relies on Lady Macbeth. Unlike in Act 1, where Lady Macbeth influenced his decisions, Macbeth now acts alone. He keeps his wife in the dark, telling her, "Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck." This shift marks his growing dominance and foreshadows her eventual isolation and decline. Psychological breakdown. Macbeth's mind is fracturing. During the banquet, Macbeth unravels when he sees Banquo's ghost. His paranoia becomes public, terrifying his guests. Desperate to deny guilt, he shouts, "Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me." His inability to maintain composure reveals his mental deterioration and weakens his authority. Increasing isolation and distrust. A king without allies. By the end of Act 3, Macbeth sees enemies everywhere. Spying on his lords, he admits, "I am in blood stepped in so far that, should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er." Even before Banquo's murder, he suspects Macduff, marking his shift into tyranny. As Macbeth isolates himself, his downfall becomes inevitable. Lady Macbeth. Diminishing control. Macbeth no longer needs her guidance. Once the mastermind, Lady Macbeth now finds herself excluded. Macbeth dismisses her role entirely, repeating, "Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck." This shift marks her decline in influence. Public face. She struggles to maintain appearances. During the banquet, she desperately tries to cover for Macbeth's erratic behavior. She reassures the guests, "My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth." However, Macbeth's instability is too obvious to ignore. Growing concern. Lady Macbeth begins to worry about Macbeth's unraveling state of mind. Once confident in their power, she now senses his paranoia and instability. She warns him, "Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done." But Macbeth refuses to let go of his fears, signaling the start of their shared downfall. Foreshadowed decline, the beginning of her own breakdown. Lady Macbeth starts to lose control over herself. She warns Macbeth, "You lack the season of all nature's sleep." Ironically, she too will soon suffer from sleeplessness, foreshadowing her eventual madness. Banquo in Act 3. Banquo's suspicion. He no longer trusts Macbeth. By Act 3, Banquo suspects Macbeth of treachery but refuses to act violently, choosing to let fate run its course. His doubt is clear when he states, "Thou playedst most foully for it." This contrast highlights Banquo's morality. He will not kill for ambition. The power of Banquo's legacy flints as a threat. Even after death, Banquo remains a threat. Flint escapes, meaning the witch's prophecy could still come true. Macbeth, realizing his crimes may have secured the throne for Banquo's heirs, laments, "If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind." Banquo's ghost. Guilt takes physical form. Banquo's ghost haunts Macbeth, triggering a public breakdown. Unlike Duncan's murder, Banquo's death manifests as visible guilt. Macbeth's panicked denial. "The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die and there an end. But now they rise again," exposes his growing instability. Hecate and the witches in Act 3. Hecate's arrival, a new supernatural force. Hecate, furious that the witches acted without her, calls Macbeth a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, easily controlled by ambition. Her presence expands the supernatural world, reinforcing that Macbeth is a pawn of fate. The witch's true purpose, deception, and control. Hecate orders the witches to mislead Macbeth, warning, "He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear." By feeding him false confidence, they push him into reckless choices. Those supernatural forces guide him, Macbeth's own ambition ensures his downfall. Act 3 leaves us on the brink of chaos. Macbeth may rule, but he no longer reigns. There's still so much more to explore. So, see you in the final part of the revision breakdown of Act 3.